big day. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. What happened today? So we just covered it over on the crisis report. And all I can say is the world is a different place right now. So, like I said over in the crisis report, and I'm going to say it here, unless you are living under a rock, then you have got to have heard about what happened in Lebanon today with Israel, Mossad, Shin Bet, whoever the heck it was, one of their intelligence agencies, basically sending a message to the pager system of a lot of Hezbollah people and activating the warming of the battery within that pager system, and then it reacting to a gram or so of PETN explosive that had sometime in the supply chain been added to these pagers that were on about 4,000 to 5,000 Hezbollah operatives, from what I understand. They're about, they say between 2,800 to 5,000. I think 4,000 is the number I've seen the most. I'm going to think about 4,000 people were affected. And as this says right here, Israel got the balls, Lebanon lost them. A lot of people's manhood was taken out today. A lot of people, I'm not going to show that. A lot of people were completely taken by surprise. This whole thing is just absolutely nutty. Hands were lost, eyes were lost. There's supposedly 500 people were blinded by this alone. The Iranian ambassador to Lebanon was supposedly blinded from reports that I've read. This whole thing is absolutely just unprecedented. To go in there and to somehow, during the production of these pagers, get a couple gram or so of this PETN explosive, have them wear it for however long, I've heard months in some cases, and then all of a sudden send this message that makes their pagers explode is absolutely the story of something out of a science fiction book. I mean, the think that this kind of technology is around is frightening, and there's a lot of people right now that are wondering if what they're carrying on them is safe. So, Israeli reported intercepted the pagers from Taiwan that detonated in the pockets of thousands before they reached Lebanon, according to the New York Times. Israel tampered with the devices that they ordered. So, yeah, it is cray to the cray. So, how is it possible that Iran's ambassador to Lebanon has a pager from this group? Very interesting question. Sorry, ladies. I mean, this whole thing is nuts. So I just noticed the irony of saying that. So anyway, yeah, this pagers attack in Lebanon, where huge numbers of Hezbollah fighters have been injured when their pagers exploded receiving messages. Among the craziest things I've seen in this new gen of warfare. I have to agree. I'm currently doing a World War unit right now on chemical weapons in World War I. You know, we're getting into that, the phosgene gas and all that, and the different ways that they did it. And then, of course, the advent of things like gas masks and, you know, just all of it, you know. And you think about that, which at that time, you know, where it was a game-changing event for war. Millions of people died in that war. But now that we have the ability to send a telecom message and get people and you know, kill them in some way by Israel is absolutely a game changer. So, No, they're. I was reading the polling and stuff. I'm not going to get into this. I want to talk about this tonight, but they're doing a lot of polls out there. I actually put a poll out today on Monmouth. They came out and said that Kamala's up by 5 points. So I reminded them that at this time in 2016, Hillary was up by 7 points, and that their polls are basically oversampled Democrat pieces of crap. But let's move on. So let's go on up here and get ready to kind of go into the analysis of this whole thing. War preparations build, 9 killed, 2,700 plus wounded in the pager attack on Hezbollah. It's already gone up. Again, I think 4,000 is a pretty darn good number. They say 2,750. Now, that is the official Hezbollah number, or Lebanon. If you've seen videos on the chaos at the hospitals, it really emboldens why in an SHTF, you want to be able to take care of any kind of a medical situation at home. You don't want to have to go to a medical facility unless it's just a last-ditch effort. So I put up video of this, about 5-minute on the Green video maker. If you want to go check that out, the link's in the description. Rhymes with tumble. Go check that out. Go visit my dedicated downvoter over there. I love that guy. Saying 2,750 wounded, war preparations are underway. So that's what I wanted to kind of talk about. Because at this point, really, there has to be a response. They can't not have a response. If Hezbollah alone doesn't have some kind of a response to this, well, they're going to be seen as complete weak and BS by all the people that champion them as some kind of a freedom fighter. 9 killed. They said a 10-year-old girl was killed. Others, a lot of people's hands were removed. A lot of nut sacks were removed. People with chunks blown out of their legs and their sides. I mean, this thing was absolutely devastating what they did. And as it was put out, also, now they know who all these people are. They got the pager thing. They, were out there. The pager equipment got sent to people in the network. And now they know if you got affected by this thing, you're pretty much affiliated with the group. So people are asking questions. How did Israel manage to sell pagers with explosive devices to members? Be the question Hezbollah leadership will have to explain to their followers. And that is a very good question. How did Israel do it? Supposedly Taiwanese pagers were shipped over, and then I guess they were intercepted, and they put this PETN stuff inside, and then from there, well, they were able to do really terrible things, and people got not just hurt, but they got blinded, and some even killed. I mean, this is just the news of science fiction. Really shows where fifth-generation warfare is at this point. We really are in a new era of all that. So we're getting prepped for a big war, folks. Okay? Let me state it plainly. So let's recap some of the things that have happened in the last 72, 96 hours, week, whatever. Yesterday, it came out that, I don't know who did that. Who was that? Hey, SB, thank you so much. They just tried to skirt that by me. I really appreciate that. 2 of those. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. In the last, wow, holy crap, girl, guy, whatever. Thank you. Really, really cool of you to do that. And $2 a month is a great way to join and get the stuff. I had been posting this in real time at about 11 a.m. when all this started to happen. So I do put information to the members in the back. And she is going again. I don't know how many of those are done. I've lost count, but that's just nuts. Thank you. Yesterday, Russia came out and said they're beefing up their numbers for their, troops. I think they're up to now 2.4, 2.5 million, something like that. So they added about 300,000, do all kinds of different stuff. There is numerous action, obviously, going on in the Middle East. You've got Tel Aviv getting struck by a hypersonic missile by Yemen. You've got still attacks on, shipping in the Red Sea. You had an MQ-9 drone. Wow, I don't know. Hopefully she's all right. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. That's awesome. Yeah, very much. Thank you. As Spirit Wolf said, that's incredible. How many did she put in there? That's just nuts. Never seen that before. So yeah, the hypersonic on Tel Aviv, the troop growth in Russia, the Red Sea is going on. The pager thing today. Russia is repelling things in Kursk. Today you had the Aleutian Islands receive a numerous troops and a beefing up of radar systems for anti-air defense for ballistic missiles over there, just in case, Russia was going to try and step up and do something. They basically came out and said that if the NATO long-range missiles are given the go-ahead, which Starmer from the UK wants, other people from the NATO wants, then Joe, of course, they're trial ballooning it. They're like, yeah, we're going to do this. Oh, nope, we decided against it. They're just putting out the trial balloon right now. But striking long distance into Russia with those is going to basically effectively start World War III. Belarus, Lukashenko came out and said, if anybody does anything to us, the war is going to start. There was a ballistic missile fired from North Korea over Japan into the Japanese Sea. On and on and on and on and on. It is absolutely crazy. Rip Curl Readiness, it is good to see you, my friend. I see you from time to time, and I'm modding with you on other stuff. I want to extend, first of all, my greatest appreciation of you still being a mod after many years. And Jeff, definitely, generally, probably one of the nicest guys on YouTube. He also mods for other big channels. But, I really appreciate you being here, sir. It's good to see you. I wanted to contact you. I'm pretty sure I still got your info on the backside, but thank you. I know you're a busy dude with all kinds of life and all that, but I appreciate you, brother. So look at all this. It's just nuts. Oh, the Philippines and China ramming each other. Numerous big events out there. It is just absolutely crazy. All of this is like in the last 72, 96 hours, a week. Think about all that. Now, I love seeing the people that are like, oh, when's it going to happen? Nothing ever happens. When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? So, if you don't see all the craziness going on and don't just at least have a little bit of a concern and think that everything is going to be normal and fine and well, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, the attempts on Orange Man, bad. That happened. Think about all this. I'm 50 years old. I don't remember any time in my life where these kind of major geopolitical events were all happening in a very truncated period of time. You really need to be doing things to put food away and just to be... I know you appreciate me, brother. I appreciate you too, Rip Curl. I mean it, man. Yeah, it is a great community. Everybody here is awesome. So I hope you're prepping. I know Rip Curl is. By the way, he's got a great channel. If you want to follow him, he does some cool stuff. I hope you're prepping, folks. We've been doing a lot of stuff on my little farmette, as we call it here. This weekend, we're doubling our poultry, if you will. We have redone a lot of stuff in our home. to kind of get ready for stuff. I'm harvesting my loan. I only had time to do one plant this year, but I've got a huge tomato plant that I'm going to be harvesting tomorrow and getting all the beautiful tomatoes that are coming in off of that thing. All I can say is, folks, I hope you're prepping. I really do. I mean, look at the list I just laid in front of you. That was literally in the last week. That's nuts. That is unprecedented. I can't remember any week like this before. And the craziest thing about it is that it's going to get it worse and worse and worse as we go. Imagine what things are going to look like when we are right up abutted to the popularity contest here in about 48, 49 days. So, Prophecy, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm trying. You guys are trying too. I just want to give good information. You know, I was talking to my wife about all this. She follows people too. I can always tell she's like my normie meter. And I asked her, I said, did you hear about what happened today? And Stacy, thank you so much. You know, and she's like, yeah, I heard and told me about it. She goes to a guy by the name of Moshe. He used to work for Fox and Bloomberg and all that. He's got his own little, you know, mainstream news thing, but he's pretty much down the center, you know, pretty good job. So we kind of were looking at the stuff he was saying, and sure enough, I mean, it's pretty crazy what's going on out there right now. So what this guy is interesting said, he said, Akbar Shahid Ahmed, amid the Hezbollah pager incident, I am reminded of what the Pentagon official told me not long ago. We have let Israel face zero consequences for crossing all of our red lines in Gaza, so they are emboldened and know they face no consequences for going into Lebanon. That is exactly how they feel. So that's why I think anybody thinking that this thing is going to fizzle out. Now, everybody was surprised when they took out Yahya Sinwar or whatever. They thought that Iran was going to attack, and then it hasn't materialized. They keep saying every day, even a couple days ago, that we will choose the time of our choosing. We will choose the time of our choosing, yada, yada, yada. They still haven't done anything. So that kind of was like, all right, but that was one guy. This was literally thousands of people sitting there doing their day-to-day. Some were selecting food. Some were at a job. Some were at all kinds of places, just doing normal stuff, and then all of a sudden their pocket explodes. I mean, it literally is something out of science fiction. I can't even put words on this whole thing. It is interesting that they have this kind of technology. People were freaked out. Edward Snowden put it out there that he said if this is not a supply chain kind of hack and this is something that they're able to do to people's gadgets, then Katie bar the door. We're in a complete different world at this point. Now, I don't really discount anything right now. So it says, likely we'll see the start of an Israeli invasion in southern Lebanon. Timing matters, and Hezbollah will need some weeks to recover at least some of its strength. Another reason is U.S. election is 50 days. Gaza war hurt Biden, and possibly a Lebanon war will hurt Kamala. And there is people that are saying that this will affect things on the national stage with everything. This will affect the grand popularity contest and everything. I mean, the Israelis want Trump. They don't want Biden. They don't want Harris. They want Trump because they know they're going to get much more sympathy from him. So, more than 400 men here. Pagers exploded. Ones were used for communication. This guy is I believe he's a member of parliament in Lebanon. His son died. So, not really happy about that, I'm sure. I wouldn't be. So, it's supposedly a apparent covert Mossad operation unleashed, chaos all over. The video of this I've got over on my Green Video Maker channel. And the guy right here in the hat is just selecting fruit. He's looking around. Then all of a sudden, like his bag on his side, you can't see it right there, totally explodes. Imagine the damage of blinding 500 soldiers or potential combatants with a single push of a button and the send of a text message. I mean, that's just unprecedented. Absolutely unprecedented. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think in the next 24 to 48 hours, if not within a few hours, you're going to start to see the first push into southern Lebanon. They've basically said that they want to create a buffer zone. Only 25% of the population remains between that southern Lebanon, northern Israeli border area. So it's pretty much cleared as you could hope for. So they're going to go in, probably start with airstrikes. There's already been reports of airstrikes on Damascus. They'll probably have to do it over in Iraq and Syria as well. They'll definitely have to be watching the skies from the Houthis in Yemen. And I think they're going to start to do what they're calling a push to allow the settlers back into their homes, which is kind of what they're blaming all this on. And at that point, the big question is, who is going to pile on? Is Israel just going to take on Lebanon? This would be the third installment of their wars. This would be the third one. Of course, you've got a few weeks away from October 7th, the one-year anniversary of that. So what's going to happen? Is Lebanon going to go it alone? Is already Iraqi and Syrian militias have come out and said that they're going to join in and they will fight to the death. What will happen to U.S. bases in that area? We've got numerous bases all over. Are they going to be attacked? I have a family member in Saudi Arabia right now. So Lebanon will probably get going, and then from that point, I can't see all these proxies of Iran, Hamas, Hezbollah, all of them just kind of being like, oh, well, I guess they're going to do what they're going to do. There's got to be a response. I don't know what it looks like. I know that Russia has been talking to Egypt. I know that Russia's got ties to Syria. You've got the, the Tartus port right there. So it is what it is. It's gonna go kind of regional, and it's not gonna get any better. And so I almost filled up my gas tanks tonight, but I thought, you know what? I got burned. I didn't get burned. I just didn't really think what happened when this happened in 10/7/23 would be like what happened with Russia in February of 2022. But I can't see oil just sitting there and being like, oh, well, whatever. There's got to be some kind of a price hit or whatever. There's got to be. And that's the other thing. I was talking to my wife about that. I said, the problem with all this and the implications are not just like a regional war in the Middle East. Is that going to affect us here? Well, yes and no. Yes, if it means that, our oil and gas is going to go up. They don't want that. The regime is doing everything they can to keep gas as low as possible before this popularity contest. Supply chains, what's going to go on with all that? I just saw a thing where, World War II, they were rationing tires and things like that. That raises prices. What will happen to inflation? What will happen to certain kinds of goods? Are we going to be able to access them anymore? What's going to happen to our ability to speak about all of this? If you know anything about past wars, you've got the Espionage Act from World War I. What happened there? Well, they basically were raiding people's homes because they disagreed with the war. Now, that was a very different time, but not really. What happens with all this? Where does all this go? Nobody really knows, but it's not going to be good. There's no scenario I can see where things get better. There's no scenario right now I see where it doesn't just tinderbox into more of a regional to global conflict. This is kind of a local Gaza thing. Now it's in Lebanon. It's going to be probably the third Lebanese-Israeli war. And then from there, you're going to have a pile on from probably places like Yemen, Iraq, Syria, even potentially Iran. What's Turkey going to do? What side are they going to be on? They're a NATO member. Who knows? And then you've got all the stuff going on in Russia. What's Russia going to do? What's Ukraine going to do? Ukraine's on their last legs. They can't keep going much longer. They're saying by the winter they're going to be done. You've got Philippines. You've got China ramming boats over there. 60 Minutes is doing reporting. What's that going to look like? Are they going to sit by and just let Taiwan kind of sit there? Other skirmishes. You've got China and India having little border skirmishes. Pakistan. They've got nuclear weapons, and they just found a huge batch of oil off their coast. Pakistan and India don't like each other. They have a long history. In fact, I always thought that would be the first place where a nuclear war happened. Lukashenko came out today, says, oh my gosh, if things get going and you guys attack, Belarus, then we're going to start it. It's going to get started. So this is just the beginning. I mean, I just really can't see a scenario where everything calms down. I can't see a scenario where they bring out the diplomats and they say, you know what, this has just gotten a little bit too crazy, let's go. You've got the heads of Canada, you've got the heads of UK, you've got the heads of other NATO and Western countries saying, you know what, we should be able to strike deep into Russia. With Russia's response being, if you do that, we will melt your face with nuclear weapons. There was a nuclear incident on the coast of Norway with Russia today. A bunch of cesium-137 or whatever the heck it is was detected. You know what that's used for? That fills up nuclear weapons. So, I don't know what they're doing on the border, but kind of strange timing, What can you do? Folks, you gotta be prepared, I know there's people out there that say nothing ever happens and it's just everything's gonna calm down. They said that up in until World War I and II happened. These things do happen. We've just been very blessed in a time of peace for a long time, but it's not going to stay that way. America as a leader in the globe is severely weakened and people don't respect us anymore. Our currency is being hammered and tested and contested by the BRICS, potentially gold-backed fiat currency, whatever that may look like. You've got a potential game-changing election coming in a couple months between Harris and Trump. Who's going to win that thing? I've seen polls on both sides. What will that look like? I was talking to my dad the other day. I said, I don't even think we're going to get to the inauguration. I think there's going to be a bunch of court crap going on between the two. What is the country going to look like with that? What is the country going to look like with that? And there's a major war going on. There's so many unknowns right now. The only thing I do is I prep. That's it. Still using my canned goods. I used 2 cans of food I got in 2021 tonight. Totally perfect. Go stock food. Go get it now. It's not going to get less expensive. It's not. We're using rice. All this stuff. Stack food, folks. Get some kind of water filtration. Get medicines. Look at the chaos in the hospitals that happened today in Lebanon and Beirut. What would you do if there was a major event and people around you were hurt? Do you have the ability to take care of them? Now, I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I'm married to a lady that went to a medical school and works for, she's a former ER nurse that's now basically a doctor. I'm lucky. She's seen a lot. She's seen just about everything. She's delivered babies. She's done everything. Most people don't have that. So what does a medical event look like? What does an event look like if someone were to storm your home? Yeah, that's happening in America too. You've all seen what's going on out in Colorado. You've seen what's going on in Ohio. You've seen what's going on in little Charleroi, Pennsylvania, right down the road from me. All these new neighbors coming in. I mean, if anything, they can't drive. So, good Lord, if you're in a major city, just be watching. But what happens? You need to have your six. You need to be watching all the stuff. You need to be doing the things. You need to be getting prepared. Don't poo-poo this stuff. Don't say, oh, it's nothing. Nothing ever happens. If the list I gave you tonight on this channel doesn't say, holy crap, we're in major crap going on right now, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. So you do you. Good luck. I wish you luck. But we're going to keep prepping over here. And so, on that note, friends, I really appreciate you being here. Thanks to my mods for being here. It's good to see Rip Curl. He's a busy dude. He's probably over on Marfoogle. He has been known to mod over there. I really appreciate y'all, folks. Do the things. Keep frequenting the prepper channels. These are good people that really do care about you, and you know most do. Some are trying to sell stuff, whatever. You know the real ones. But I appreciate you doing all this stuff. Taz, thank you so much. I don't know if you're here. That was nice of you to do. Thanks to all the donations by SB. Thanks to all the donations by everybody. The other person that got me the memberships. Consider becoming a member, like Dave right there. Thank you, Dave. $2 a month gets all this going, and also funds and supports me so I can do this in my free time, which is not too free anymore. Between coaching and playing music and doing the crisis report and this, and then also being a father of 3 beautiful children and a loving husband. So I really appreciate all of you for coming. Woke, ours, really? Yeah. Yep, we know that. Thanks for becoming a member, sir. Consider it, but yeah, we're going to turn it off. I got to get up in about 6.5 hours and do the grind again. Friends, God bless you all. I really appreciate it, and it's going to get crazier from here, so don't put your guard down, okay?